Hi everyone, welcome to the course EDLM525, which are beginning today on July 2nd. I thought I'd add a short video to highlight the main elements of the Moodle shell as you begin your exploration of the course and the course shell. So there's a few points which I wanted to sort of highlight. So first of all, the goals of the course. While doing the introductory slides that you were presented during Link, we kept highlighting the fact that the Melon program is really focused throughout on unpacking your multiple identities. And we've talked about your identity self as a learner, as a teacher and educator, as a leader. And I would actually add a layer there, which is researcher, because as grad students, you're a researcher, and there's also probably a layer there of identity as a researcher. So EDLM 525, really the goals of the course are exactly that. They are to guide you in facilitated exploration of these multiple identities and to enable you to look at each level the things that sort of influence and have an impact on your worldview and your practices. It is then presented in the format of a portfolio, an e-portfolio. So really much of the course is formative in nature in the sense that it progressively guides you towards creating an e-portfolio that will then demonstrate that you've carried out this reflection on these multiple levels of your identity. So to guide you through the course, really in an overview and to explain to you how I'm going to interact with you on Moodle. So we have 3 sections, obviously. We have the pre-residency, then we have 2 weeks of residency, and then we have the last section. So during pre-residency, I'm going to just take this down so we can follow on Moodle as we go. Give me a minute and bear with me. It's just that while we go through, Screencastify slows my computer down a little bit. So unit 1 is your pre-residency, and that really is going to focus on your exploration of self in terms of as yourself as an individual and as a learner. So that I will guide you and facilitate that reflection, and that's what we're going to focus on. In terms of your readings, you will see that you can enter your readings through the top link, which will give you the full readings in alphabetical order for the course. But then if you go into each reading within each unit, it will actually break down the readings that are actually appropriate for that section. As you see here, I have also some week 1 notes, week 2 notes, week 3 notes, which I will reveal one at a time so that you will have a specific instruction. So just look out for these and you will have a specific instructions as to each week what to carry out in terms of tasks. This will summarize, give you directions as to the goal of the unit of the week, and also highlight and identify the very specific task that you need to tackle. As we meet in 3 weeks and we go into unit 2, residency. Residency is broken up into 2 different weeks and 2 different units. So the first week will focus again on the expression of yourself, but this time as a team member and as an educator. And the second week will look at the expression of self as leaders. And then the final unit, it's post-residency, and it's really the preparation of the e-portfolio itself. Then by then you're focusing on that. In terms of assignment structure is slightly complex in this course because it has evolved through times and makes sense to us, but I would just want to highlight different parts so that you understand how they go. The best way is probably, obviously you can go through all of the assignment structures that are there, but I will also give you an overview of how they fit organically and linearly into each unit. So during the first unit, you are looking at self as an individual and as a learner, and then you have 3 things to produce. You have a written paper, which is going to be your 1B, and that's a paper that you will find the assignments directive, and you follow the directives, and you are to use some of the readings, some of the discussions that will have happened during these 3 weeks, to create a short paper. I think it's 1,200 words, recapping the use. It's a traditional paper, requires APA formatting, so it's going to be a good practice to get your APA formatting in the hand. And then you will post this on the last day before you join residency. I'm also asking you to do something fairly different. I'm going to ask you to explore the notion and concept of photo voice, which is a project and now being used in academia often as a assignment format. So first, I'll ask you to examine photo voice as a movement and its history, and to understand what it's trying to do and how it's trying to do it. And then eventually during the 3 weeks to think of how you could use photo voice to support this reflection on self as an individual and as a learner. And by the first day of residency, so it's due on the 22nd of July, you are to share and produce a photo voice project of your own. So you are to produce something which is visually supported as opposed to being word. And the aim for that is that really the portfolio, we want you to realize the portfolio doesn't have to be just words. So it's a good way to get you to reflect on sometimes how to support your reflection with audiovisuals as opposed to visuals and audiovisuals as opposed to being simply words. So that is 1A, and then you submit that on the first day of residency. And you will have some instructions on weekly in the next 3 weeks as to how to progressively get to the productions of both these assignments. Then you will be entering residency with me and meeting me daily. And in the first week of residency, we're looking at understanding yourself as a team member, as an educator. You have again, a regular sort of paper in APA format to produce by then, and it's to be produced on the first day of week 2 of residency. So we'll work on it together during the first week, and then you will present to and the first day of the second week. In the next unit, we are looking at self as a leader, and the assignment this time will be a team assignment, and we will look at the directives together. During week 1 of residency, you'll produce that at times that you schedule with me, and we'll have ample time to discuss that together. Your presentation will happen between the Wednesday and the Friday of the second week of residency. So that will be 2B, and that will be done by the time you finish residency. This will leave you with the ePortfolio, which is mostly assignment 3C and 3D. 3C is the submission of your full portfolio, and 3D is your self-assessment of the full portfolio. So you're going to find all the directives in the assignment section. There are 2 assignments which I missed at, 3A and 3B, and really it's only a 5% assignment, but what that requires is that at the end of pre-residency and then at the end of residency, you produce a first segment of your portfolio. So again, this is formative, it's formative assessment. We are trying to get you to finish these sections as you move forward, as opposed to having all of it to be done at the end. So the reason why I've skipped that is that it's to be produced at the end, on the beginning first day of residency, you're producing the first section, and on the first day after residency, you're producing the second sections. They relate to the same themes and trends that we just looked at. And they will be just to encourage you to get some of the portfolio done as you move forward, as opposed to doing it all at the end. So there's some level of duplication, because in 3A and 3B, you will be able to draw both from your photo voice projects and from all the writing which you've already done for 2A and 2B and 2B in the presentation that you've made as well. But then you'll be individualizing and personalizing and drawing what you want from that, and making certain choices, executive choices as to what you want to include in the portfolio, and trying to give it some shape. And then you have assignment 4, which is a contribution participation in class. So that will assess both your participation in some of the forums before residency, after residency, which I will guide you. Again, you'll have some specific directions as to what to produce during these contributions on the forum, but also classroom participations and team participations, participation teams that will happen while you are in residency. So I hope this is all clear. Now, what happens on a weekly basis is, again, if you look at Unit 1, I will today release your week 1 notes. You'll have an idea of what we're covering. It will relate to some of the readings. It'll be your burden to go onto the readings and try and explore that, and then to bring that back into your discussion forums. And you have weekly discussion forums. Again, within discussion forum, I will set some very specific tasks, and then you are to address these tasks throughout the week. You can always post in forums after the week is over. I don't close the forums. So again, you have this ability to work asynchronously. If you miss something but you want to go back and contribute, the discussion forums remain open. So at the moment, to summarize, I will encourage you for this week to first of all look at the video. I'm going to post a video within each week, which will sort of guide you again and introduce the task for that week. Then to look at the week 1 notes and look at the themes that we're bringing up and the task that I've set for you, and then to try and contribute in the week 1 forum. If you follow these steps throughout, you will always remain on top of the workload, and then you will be working progressively towards your assignments. So I wish you happy Canada Day, since it's still Monday, and I look forward to start conversations with you tomorrow on Tuesday, July 2nd. So bye for now.